Hi there, it's Thursday again. Another week has just flown by, and this is Tanya Uester. I am doing a live today from my Botanically page in Alchemy of Soothing Botanic Ingredients. So we are carrying on with my body system support series, and in today's episode we are going to chat about hormonal health, or how to support the endocrine system. And this is a very intricate system, because if it's gone a little bit out of whack, you are certainly going to know about it. And if you don't know about it, I'm pretty sure someone in your family or one of your children or a very close friend might have mentioned to you that you need to go and look at supporting your endocrine system. There is so many things that can actually go wrong in your body when your hormones go a little bit whack. Okay, so the reason why is quite simply because it is so heavily involved in so many processes in your body. So if you don't know what the word endocrine means, it's got everything to do with your hormones. And basically, the endocrine system is the system that manages your hormones. And these are responsible for regulating metabolism, growth, sleepiness, heart rate, blood sugar, the release of adrenaline, your sexual maturity, and several other female and male hormones as well. Okay, so you can see that there's quite a lot of things involved here. And if you've just joined in, I can see there's a couple of people logging in now because of the time lag that happens on Facebook. Please just give us a little wave and share some love down there so we can see the hearts and the likes coming up, because today is going to be quite a nice lesson. Hope you brought a notepad and pen, because there's going to be quite a few essential oils that I mentioned today, and it would be nice if you can take notes while we go along. Oh, I can see some more people coming in. There we go. Hearts and likes. Love those. Thank you. So basically, the endocrine system is made up of a couple of glands, and I'm just going to mention some. So the pituitary gland, then there's the thyroid. So the pituitary, before we actually carry on, these temperature guns being faced at the middle of our heads, not a good place, okay, because that's where these glands sit. All right, so always try and see if they can do your temperature on your wrist or on your neck instead. Okay, just little tip from the side there. But basically, the pituitary gland, the thyroid, the adrenals, ovaries, as well as the testicles, these are involved in the endocrine system. And they are what they do throughout the body is that they produce, store, and they release hormones. Okay, and hormones are the chemicals that is the communication within the body. So when your hormones, hello Louise, I can see you're in, hello, and Catherine has just joined in. I'm going to give some waves as people start logging in. So if your hormones are not in synergy, be sure that your body is not going to be in synergy, because then the communication is not going to happen so well. All right. And you all know my why for getting up in the morning. I mean, my absolute goal is to feel the best that I can every single day of my life. So hormone health and hormone synergy plays quite a big part in that, because if my hormones are not so lacquer, then I'm not going to feel so lacquer. And let's face it, then I'm going to be a grumpy Tanya. Okay, so everything I do is obviously to support me to be able to feel my best every single day. And part of this obviously then includes doing certain things that are going to be supporting hormone synergy, or bringing my hormones back into balance. All right, so more people. I'm just going to give some waves as more people log in. Thank you, Facebook, for that. I love that wave function. It's really awesome. So the endocrine system triggers the glands to release the hormones into the bloodstream, and then this contributes the hormones, or distributes, I should rather say, this distributes the hormones right through your body, and they're critical to your survival. I mean, they help homeostasis. Hello, Veronica's just logged in. Also, Alison. No. Oh, Alison is saying they're no longer taking temperature. So maybe there's a level 2 thing going on. And I really am appreciating that, because let's face it, those temperature monitors were really low. I mean, I'm definitely not at a 34 or a 35 degrees. That sounds a bit low to me. But anyway, at least they let me into the shop. Hey, Wave. Anli's also joined in. Welcome. Thank you for joining my endocrine support class today. So hormones are critical for survival, and they regulate blood pressure, blood sugar, sex hormones, digestive enzymes, stress response, and more. So if you can keep these glands functioning well and supported, it's going to support overall health and the quality of your life. Okay, and then you too, by switching to healthier habits, can also feel the best that you possibly can on a daily basis. All right. Louise is saying that her temperature was taken today. So maybe it's just some shops. Maybe the shop you went to's temp or thermometer is actually broken today, Alison. Who knows? I have no idea what's going on out there. I will go and discover this afternoon when I go and do my weekly shop. All right. So unfortunately, because the communication systems are really important in our lives, also realize there's a couple of things that can interfere with those good communications. Okay, so everyday stresses, and here it's literally just being stressed, so emotionally being stressed, your body going into stress, fight or flight. But more than that, toxins are actually a very big thing in disrupting hormone health and hormone synergy. All right, so the most important thing to look after when you are wanting to bring your hormones back into synergy is always going to be nutrition and hydration. All right, because without hydration, these molecules can't be moved around in your blood. Okay, so we need good hydration, and more than that, we simply just really need good nutrition, because without the good nutrition, these hormones cannot be produced. All right, so just keep that in the back of your mind. So what we are going to be doing today is we're going to run through a whole big list, because I'm by no means a hormone expert. There are several essential oil hormone experts and endocrine system experts out there. So today's lesson for me is quite nice, because I can basically refer to them because they are the experts. So be sure to go and find them too and go and follow them, because you can learn quite a lot. They've got books out. They even have websites where they can teach you quite a lot of this good information. So what I'm going to run through today is just from all these various sources that I researched from. I'm going to mention some of the oils that come up quite routinely that are going to be able to support good hormone synergy, all right? And I'll mention the people's names as we go along, so you too can go and learn where to find all this good information, all right? But I am going to focus a little bit about the toxins. Unfortunately, because of all the various chemicals in the products that we use on a daily basis. So thinking, for instance, here, the creams that we put onto our skin, or the toothpastes that we're using, and the deodorants, all those kind of things have got certain chemicals in them to make them work, number one, or to preserve them so they can stay on the shelf for long extended periods of time before, someone uses them, so they don't become contaminated, that scenario. But some of these molecules, unfortunately, are also actually not that great for your hormone health. So what they do is there is scientific research showing that there is some level of hormone disruption, or what they call endocrine disruption. So when the hormones are then affected by these toxins that we are taking in on a daily basis, please just also think about the detoxing effect that certain essential oils can have, because they are going to be able to support your body to sort of try and bring things back into like a into synergy. So the ewg.org website is an amazing website, because there they actually list the ingredients, and this is scientific research. This is not my aunt said this, or my brother said this, or that person knows that person who said this. That website is based on scientific published research. Okay, so when they're talking about an ingredient and they say be careful, because there is definitely bioaccumulation, and what that means is this toxin builds up in your body. There's no way for your body to get rid of it. Then you are going to sit with certain issues, and more than that, there are definitely, that list is growing by the day, toxins that we do use on a daily basis in the creams or even in the food that we are getting in, that are actually going to be disrupting your endocrine system. Okay, so please go visit that website. It's a really amazing website, ewg.org, especially for the skin products, because if you go to the Skin Deep database, they're going to show you which of the products that you are using every single day, or the ingredients in those products, are actually not that great for hormone health. Okay, the next thing is nutrition. So we do need to eat a lot of whole foods and always try and go as organic as possible. And the reason for that, obviously, is a lot of the pesticides and things that are on our foods are actually also not that great for hormone health. Okay, all right, and then hydration. We really do need to focus on good hydration, all right, to keep everything moving. All right, so let's kick off with all these amazing essential oils, because the list is quite long. And where I usually do try and do my continued education, not specifically referring to brands, I will have to do that today. And the reason for that is my favorite essential oil company are very geared to develop synergistic blends for certain health challenges or to support certain systems in your body. And the reason I'm going to mention theirs is simply because I am not familiar with other essential oil brands, blends as such, okay? Because this is my favorite company. I chose them because of the purity of the oils and the fact that I can get lab results per batch of oil, etc., etc., etc. I've got my own reasons why I've chosen this company. So when I speak about the blends, I'm going to refer to those blends because I don't know what is in other people's or other essential oil brand blends, okay? So the first one we need to look at, and I'm going to start referring to other people already. Dr. Maritza Snyder is a well-known doctor who actually focuses on good hormone synergy, okay? And her top 5 oils for hormones are citrus oils, specifically because they are so able to, because of their limonene concentration, that's a chemical constituent that's very uplifting. So because of that chemical constituents in there, her, citrus oils are very high at the top of her list to be able to support you through your various hormonal stages in a month. And here we're not just talking women, hey, men too, because believe it or not, men have hormone fluctuations. So for them, it's definitely more focused on what is going to support their mood instead of the various little things going on in their bodies. Because they don't have as much inflammation or, those kind of scenarios. So definitely more mood related for them. And here, therefore, citrus oils, very high on the list for feeling good every single day, despite what your hormones are doing. Because remember, they go up and down. Certain hormones go up and down during the month. So here we're talking the progesterones, the estrogens, the testosterone, even the melatonin, which is that one that has to get you to sleep at night. Okay, so all of these things are affected, and citrus oils are really good at uplifting you. So it's going to support you a little bit more when you're starting to feel a little bit more irritable than is normal. Okay, because of your hormones changing through your cycle. Another firm favorite of Dr. Maritza Snyder is Ylang Ylang because it's so calming, and it can calm you in the storm. That's the word she uses, okay? So when you are very feeling not so with it, okay, and there's certain things that are starting to affect you and your hormones are at play, definitely give Ylang Ylang a try. Really good in skincare as well and very good aromatically. All right, so she also talks quite a lot about lavender because lavender is so calming and soothing to anxious feelings. Balance, which is Doterra's grounding blend, simply because it balances the emotions. It's very high in resins, frankincense, so very good for focusing the mind and not letting you fret too much about the stuff that is irritating you, okay? And then, of course, the women's blend, which is called Clary Calm. A lot of beneficial oils in the Clary Calm blend from Doterra because it's actually developed to assist specifically women and men, not just women, okay, with a cooling and soothing effect. So this is going to be for emotionally as well as for certain body parts that need to be cooled. And obviously that Clary Calm blend, if you do want to try and make your own, if you don't have the Doterra one, it contains clary sage, lavender, bergamot, which is that citrus one that's really good for the upliftment, Roman chamomile because it's got anti-inflammatory properties and really calming, Ylang Ylang, as I said, one of the favorites, cedarwood, geranium is just really good for mood, guys. It's really amazing. Fennel, because let's face it, our stomach area or our lower belly always goes through quite an inflammatory stage during that period in the month, and then fennel is really calm to the digestive system and to your lower gut. Carrot seed oil, Palmarosa, as well as Vitex. Okay, so that's all the oils that are actually in that Clary Calm blend that are really good for supporting the women's, the women and the men through their, whether it's emotional or physical changes that take place when the hormones start fluctuating. Okay, so those are her top 5. All right. Then we're going to move to someone called Dr. Eric Zielinski. He is an amazing guy because he's a public health researcher, right? So he's not got a biased opinion about anything or anyone. He literally bases whatever he says based on the research that he's done and the scientifically reviewed articles that have been published, okay? He also doesn't have a favorite brand. I know for a fact he uses several essential oil brands, but on the top of his list, especially for PMS and when you are leaning more to post-menopausal things, and this could be mood related, irritability related, body changes as well, then we need to look at things like clary sage because it also is going to help with the discomfort that is felt in the belly. So he mentions clary sage quite a lot, as well as lavender and Ylang Ylang. So you can see Ylang Ylang again, so that's got to be on the top of your list, all right, for any kind of mood support or hormonal support, okay? And then let's also look at someone called Myri Taylor. So she is a certified women's health coach, and she's made a couple of suggestions specifically to Doterra blends because even though your hormones fluctuate, and not all of them going to be hormone related, let's just go through some of these single essential oils and blends that are going to be beneficial during the month. Okay. Veronica's just saying that got Clary Calm and combined with Adaptive. I've been sleeping for the past 5 days through the night. Now that is really good testimonial right there. I'll talk a little bit about my own testimonials on what I use on a monthly basis, because remember, I want to feel the best I can every single day. So we'll get to that in a second. Thanks for sharing, Veronica. Oh, Andrew's also logging in from the UK. Brilliant. Welcome. I'm glad you joined today, because remember, we're talking hormones, and it's not just women that have hormones. I, for one, know when I'm going to have my more irritable week in the month, because my husband usually gets his a week before mine. So I don't have to have a tracking app, because he tells me out of his actions. Okay. So food for thought, right? A lot of these essential oils are going to be supportive for both men and females. I can see the hearts coming from that. Who else has a husband or a partner that sort of signals when it's going to be my own time in that month where I'm going to be a little bit more irritable than I would like to be? I think there's many more of us than just me. Okay, so before we get to this list, let's get to this list of Mary Tyler. So basically what happens 2 weeks before your menstrual cycle starts, your immune system does take a little bit of a knock, because it's working on other things in your body. So whatever you can do to support your immune system is a really good idea. Doterra have an amazing protective blend called On Guard. So this is an amazing blend to either clean your surfaces with, because it's uplifting because of the citrus oils in there, but it goes a really far way in supporting your immune system, okay? And it's a great one to have in the diffuser as well. Then Deep Blue, and this is the soothing blend, or also the blend that helps with any kind of discomfort in your body. So that's going to be a nice one when you feel discomfort in your lower belly area. Doterra Air or Breathe, that is a respiratory blend, and this helps a lot with when you're starting to feel a little bit queasy. I know for one that I do feel a little bit queasy for about 2 to 3 days in the month. I also, my appetite goes down, and obviously that queasiness, things like the Doterra Air or Breathe can definitely go a long way in helping you with that, support that, together with the Zengest. All right, so when your tummy goes into discomfort, because obviously now this is, I'm not going to say that generalized, not everyone gets this. Some of us are just unluckier than others, I suppose, and I think there's probably a genetic predisposition and what's going on in our bodies at that time. I, for one, because I've always had a little bit of a more sensitive gut, I definitely feel severe gut discomfort, okay? And unfortunately, there's a lot of inflammation associated with that. So I tend to have to use essential oils that are going to support good digestion, but more than that, that have anti-inflammatory properties and maybe have a little bit of an analgesic effect as well, just to soothe what is going on in my lower belly. So I find Zengest really beneficial to support me. And that's going to be together with the Breathe for the queasiness, and also for digestive support. But I also very heavily rely on my Clary Calm roller, which is the one that I described the ingredients to a little bit earlier. And more than that, also the past tense blend. Okay, I'm someone that responds really well to herbs for some reason, herbs and resins. And the past tense blend, which is a tension blend, literally helps with relieving tension, whether it be emotionally related or whether it be physical. All right, and if I could just mention, if you do want to make your own blend, if you don't specifically have the doTERRA oil, the oils that go into that past tense blend, which I then combine with the Clary Calm to put over my lower abdomen to ease that the discomfort that I'm feeling. The past tense has wintergreen in it, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, cilantro, which is the leafy part of the coriander, marjoram, Roman chamomile, basil, and rosemary. Okay, so you can see very heavy on the herbs there, but that is something that I find works really well for my body. All right, then let's move on to doTERRA Serenity blend. This is the restful blend, okay? And this is a really good one for in the evenings, because I tend to not sleep very well in that week in the month, and therefore I need a little bit of additional support. And usually the lavender or the vetiver on its own is not strong enough in a sense to support me. I need a little bit of an extra boost. So then the doTERRA Serenity blend is a really good blend to reach out for, to put in your diffuser, and you can even put some of that underneath your feet. Okay, and that's just going to encourage a restful sleep and probably help you fall asleep a little bit quicker. Okay, and we need sleep. because it's going to help our adrenals reset, it's going to help the hormones, and it's just going to be really good for that irritability index, okay? Because even if you've got the hormones going a little bit back and you're not sleeping well, I'm going to say good luck to the people around you. All right. Doterra also have, there's more people joining in. Fantastic. I'm going to start waving them at them as well. Magda, welcome, as well as Shanaz. I can see a lot of people putting comments in there. I will get to them in the end. If I don't see them anymore, I'll just, keep on putting them in there. If there's any questions, I'm going to be coming to answer them straight afterwards as well. Doterra have an amazing supporting blend to soothe anxious feelings, specifically for women. And it's what we call our perfume blend, and it's called Whisper. All right. So if you don't know what that is about, please go and do some Googling about that, because that is an amazing blend that's just been released in South Africa, into the South African market. So I can't wait for mine to arrive so I can try it too, because let's face it, we can all do a little bit of soothing of anxious feelings, especially during that time of the month. And more than that, remember Veronica mentioned it earlier as well, Adaptive is a blend that I reach for quite often. To just calm everything down a little bit and soothe everything down a little bit. Peppermint can be really beneficial during the month, because during that week or just before, you tend to be a little bit low on energy for some reason. My limbs feel like lead. I'm like, ugh. So peppermint and for the same reason rosemary are going to be really good for those kind of scenarios, because they really are fantastic revitalizers or energizers. All right, lavender, obviously, if you need that calming and relaxing and soothing fragrance around you. Lemon, because it's just so absolutely detoxifying and uplifting to the mood. Oregano also promotes a positive mood, according to Marie Tyler. And then melaleuca, tea tree, because it is very good for getting rid of negative baggage. So, you tend to load baggage onto yourself in that week, and you feel really sorry for yourself. Let's face it, we become victims. And melaleuca or tea tree is a really good one for something like that. And then frankincense, because of its beautiful anti-inflammatory properties, but also because of the focus and the support that it provides the mind and your emotional conditions. Okay, so there was quite a mouthful. If we go to the other research, oils that get mentioned throughout several resources that are really good for balancing, they say, estrogen levels. They talk about clary sage as well as neroli. Now, let's face it, who doesn't love the smell of neroli? I mean, I sometimes just go out and go and sniff the flowers on my lemon plant. I know it's not it's not an orange plant. I know it's not the real flower, but it's got a very similar smell, and it's one of my absolute favorite smells out there. So neroli oil is really amazing for the estrogen balance. If we then move towards progesterone, the grapefruit, oregano, and thyme are mentioned frequently in being able to assist progesterone balance. And then oils that are in general mentioned for all hormone balancing. Okay, so not just those specific hormones are fennel, geranium, ginger, which also, by the way, helps with stomach discomfort and a little bit of the crampingness, and jasmine, right? Obviously also ylang ylang, cardamom, and then things that they do mention very often for the on the men's side of things. So here, very focused on the mood and supporting them to feel manly and strong, I suppose, because that's where they need a little bit help when they start feeling a little bit irritable and iffy. Things that are mentioned quite often on the men's side of things for hormonal support is cardamom, frankincense, juniper, lemon, and melaleuca or tea tree. Okay, so today's lesson was jam-packed full of essential oils, all right? Do pop me some questions in the comments if there's something that you missed out on. Do also remember that my videos are also posted to my YouTube channel, and I'm actually going to make a call today. When I get to 100 subscribers, I'm allowed to rename my channel. So if you would be so kind, please go to my YouTube channel. I will post today's link for today's video in the comments of this Facebook Live, and then you'll be able to get to my channel and go and subscribe, because then I'm no longer a number. I can be Botanically on my YouTube channel, okay? So please go and help me out there and go and subscribe to my channel. I'm so almost there. And as always, obviously, if you found today's lesson useful, please share it with those that need to hear the information. It is my absolute passion to educate and to help people switch to healthier habits and try to incorporate a little bit more natural things into your life and decrease the toxins, because obviously that's going to be really beneficial in making you feel your absolute best every single day that you are on earth trying to experience new things. All right, fantastic. So thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys all next week, Thursday, for my next live and the next body system support. And if you are going to need a little bit more information on today's, please remember that replay is going to be available. All right, thank you. Cheerio.